Next, we're ready for our 3-part drill. So you will need your vowel sticks a little bit later, but we're going to start with going through letter names and sounds, and then doing a few words on the blending board. Then we'll get to vowel sticks. So I'm going to show you a letter card. You're going to tell me the letter's name, and then tell me its sound. All right, let's hear it. U says and U says you. O says and O says O. I says and I says I. SH says sh. F says f. R says r. P says p. M says mm. A says a, and A says a. T says t. K says k. N says n. B says b. E says and E says e. S says s. Ooh, we'll do this one, the hard sound. Hard. TH says v. Ooh, a new digraph. WH says w. Ooh, and the other letter that makes that sound, W says w. G says g. D says d. L says l. H says h. J says j. CH says ch. Last one. C says k. Nice work, friends. I'm going to tip the camera down so you can see a little bit better. And we will start by saying the 3 sounds on our blending board, and then we'll say those sounds quickly. We'll blend them together to read the green word. So I'm going to switch our first sound, and let's also switch our last sound. Okay. All right, say the sounds with me. 1, 2, 3. J, b, jeb. Good. One more time, just like that. J, b, jeb. Jeb. Do you think that is a real word or a nonsense word? Yeah, you're right. That's just a silly nonsense word or a pretend word. And I forgot to remind you, we're going to do each of these words 2 times on the blending board. Let's switch out again our first sound. Ooh. And let's change our last sound. Say the sounds with me. 1, 2, 3. W, t, wet. Good. One last time, just like that. W. Wet. Wet. Is that a nonsense word or a real word? Yeah, that's a real word. If it was raining outside, you might get wet from the rain. Let's try one more word on our blending board today. Let's do our new digraph. And let's also change the last sound. So remember, when we see the W and the H digraph, we're going to remember that we don't say the sound. We just say it like W, just like the W would be by itself. 1, 2, 3. W. When. Good. One last time. This is your last one, so make it your best one. W. When. Is when a real word or a nonsense word? Yeah, that's a real word. That's a good question word. You might ask someone, when are we going to eat? The last thing we're going to do for our 3-part drill is our vowel sticks. So if you have your vowel sticks at home with you, or if you have vowel tents, you could use those. You could also just use sticky notes or little pieces of paper and just write the letters I, A, E, U, and O. Now that we've learned all of our vowels, you can just write these on little pieces of paper to hold up, or you can just say the sound and make the action with me. So I'm going to put all of my vowel sticks down so I can see the letters. And let's listen for the sound in the middle of the word. So what sound do you hear in the middle of the word bed? Say the word bed. What vowel sound do you hear in the middle? Good. We hear the E says in bed. The D. We hear the sound in the middle. Let's try another one. What vowel sound do you hear in the middle of the word bug? Say the word bug. Ooh, what vowel sound do you hear in the middle? I hear the U says in bug. B-ug. We hear the sound in the middle. Up next, what vowel sound do you hear in the middle of the word shop? Say the word shop. What sound do you hear? Me too. I hear the O says aw in shop. Shop. Ooh, that has our digraph as the beginning sound. Let's try 2 more. What vowel sound do you hear in the middle of the word? How about rag? Say the word rag. What sound do you hear in the middle? Yeah, I hear the A says in rag. And our last word for today. What vowel sound do you hear in the middle of the word sit? Say the word sit. What vowel sound do you hear in the middle? Yep, me too. I hear the I says in sit. It. I makes the sound we hear in the middle of that word. Nice work today, friends, on your 3-part drill.